Have you ever felt like your mind isn't really yours? Like something inside you keeps pulling the strings, making you doubt, hesitate, overthink, and repeat the same mistakes again and again? You try to focus, to be strong, to move forward, but something invisible drags you back every single time. It's quiet, but it's powerful. It knows your weaknesses. It knows every fear, every regret, every thought you try to silence. And no matter how much you fight, it always finds a way to whisper the same thing. You can't. But what if that voice isn't really you? What if it's just a habit, an echo your mind keeps replaying because it doesn't know any other way? What if mastering your mind isn't about fighting it, but understanding it? Because once you understand it, everything changes. The noise fades. The chaos slows. The war inside you starts to end. You've been taught to push harder, to stay positive, to control your thoughts. But control is an illusion. You can't control the ocean by holding it still. You can only learn to surf its waves. Your mind is the same. The harder you fight it, the stronger it becomes. The more you resist, the louder it grows. The secret isn't resistance, it's awareness. The power isn't in silencing the voice. It's in watching it without letting it take over. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice the next thought that appears. Maybe it's a worry. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's something you don't even want to admit. Don't chase it. Don't try to change it. Just watch it. Let it rise. Let it speak. Let it fall away. That simple act of watching without reacting is where mastery begins. It's small. It's quiet. But it's the shift that rewires everything, because in that moment, you're no longer the thought. You're the one who sees it. Most people never reach that point. They live trapped inside their own heads, believing every thought, reacting to every emotion, letting the mind drag them from one storm to another. They don't realize they're the sky, not the storm. The sky doesn't fight the thunder, it just lets it pass. You can do the same. You can stand still while your mind spins, and in that stillness you take back control. You'll feel resistance at first. Your mind will try to pull you back to convince you this won't work. It will throw louder thoughts, stronger emotions, sharper doubts. But that's the test. Every time you observe without reacting, you weaken the pattern that has controlled you for years. You break the loop. You become aware of the machinery that once ran your life in the background. You start to see clearly, and with clarity comes power. Science calls this meta-awareness. Spiritual teachers call it awakening. But names don't matter. What matters is what it gives you. Freedom. Freedom from overthinking. Freedom from emotional spirals. Freedom from the feeling that you're stuck inside a mind that won't stop spinning. Imagine making decisions without hesitation. Imagine waking up without that heavy cloud of thoughts pressing on your chest. Imagine being able to hear your mind, but not believe everything it says. That's not fantasy. That's what happens when you master the space between thought and awareness. That space is your power. That space is where peace lives. And it starts with one choice: to observe instead of absorb, to see instead of react, to let the thought come and let it go. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember that you are not the voice in your head. You are the one who listens. The world outside you will always be noisy. The pressures, the expectations, the chaos, they won't disappear. But when your inner world becomes still, the outside can't shake you anymore. You stop being tossed by every wave. You start choosing your direction. You start moving with intention. This is how you master your mind, not through control, but through awareness. Not by force, but by freedom. You don't need years of training or endless struggle. You just need to start noticing, to step back, to breathe, and to see what's really happening inside you. Because once you see it, you can never unsee it. Once you feel that calm, you'll know what real strength feels like. And once you master your mind, everything else begins to fall into place. The moment you realize you are not your thoughts, something shifts. It's like a door opens, a door you didn't even know was there. Behind it is silence, clarity, power. But the mind won't let you walk through easily. It will fight for control because it's terrified of losing its grip. It will throw every distraction, every fear, every old pattern your way. You'll feel the pull. the urge to go back to what's familiar, even if it hurts. That's not weakness, that's conditioning. Your mind has been running the same program for years, maybe your whole life. And now, for the first time, you're interrupting it. This is the moment most people quit. They think the struggle means failure, but that struggle means you're changing. You're unlearning the noise. You're breaking the automatic reactions that have defined you. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you breathe before believing a thought, you're rewriting your mind. It won't happen in a flash of light. It will happen in moments, quiet, powerful, invisible moments where you choose awareness over reaction. Your mind is like a storm that feeds on attention. The more you engage, the stronger it grows. But when you step back, when you refuse to fuel it, it starts to collapse. Slowly, it loses its grip. The waves calm, the clouds thin, and through them, light breaks through. Your light, the part of you that's always been there but buried under noise. That's the real you. Not the anxious one, not the angry one, not the doubtful one. The observer, the creator, the one who chooses. Every time you choose awareness, you reclaim energy that was once wasted on fear. You start noticing how much power you've been giving away to people, to circumstances, to old stories that no longer serve you. And when you stop feeding them, that energy returns to you. You begin to feel lighter, focus sharpens, confidence grows. You realize you never needed permission to be in control. You just needed presence. Presence is the antidote to chaos. It's what turns confusion into clarity, fear into focus, hesitation into action. When you're present, the future loses its grip and the past loses its weight. You stop living in what was or what could be. You start living in what is. And in that space, you find power. Because real power doesn't shout, stand still. It doesn't chase, it chooses. But presence requires courage. Courage to face what's inside you. Courage to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. Most people run from themselves their entire lives. They drown in distractions, hoping silence won't catch up. But silence always finds you. It waits for you at night when the noise fades. It whispers the truth you've been avoiding. That's why so many fear stillness, because it shows them who they really are. But the moment you stop running, the fear begins to dissolve. What's left is real peace, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstances. The world will still test you. People will still trigger you. Life will still challenge you. But once you understand how to master your mind, the challenges stop breaking you. They start building you. Every setback becomes a signal. Every obstacle becomes a teacher. You stop reacting to life and start responding with intention. You begin to move with calm precision, no longer pushed by emotion, but guided by awareness. And that awareness transforms everything. It sharpens your decisions. It strengthens your relationships. It clears your focus. You begin to live, not just exist. You stop being trapped in cycles of regret and worry. You start to see time differently, each moment as an opportunity, not a burden. You realize that your mind isn't your enemy, it's a tool. But a tool must be guided. Without awareness, it controls you. With awareness, it serves you. You've spent years building strength on the outside. Now it's time to build strength where it matters most, within. Because once you master the inner world, the outer world follows. The noise doesn't disappear, but it loses its power to define you. The fear doesn't vanish, but it no longer decides your path. You finally see that freedom isn't something you find, it's something you create. You can start right now, not tomorrow, not someday. This moment, take one breath, watch one thought, feel one emotion without judgment. That's it. That's mastery beginning to form. The more you practice, the faster it grows. You are not waiting for peace. You are building it. You are not searching for strength. You are remembering it. And once you remember who you are beneath the noise, the mind stops being your prison and becomes your greatest power. You felt glimpses of that power, the stillness behind your thoughts, the calm beneath the chaos. But now it's time to live there, to stop visiting peace like it's a vacation and start claiming it as your home. Because every moment you spend trapped in reaction, you're giving away the one thing you can never get back, your time. And that time is your life. Every second spent worrying, replaying the past, overanalyzing the future, it's all energy stolen by a mind that doesn't yet know who's in charge. But you do. You're beginning to remember. This isn't about motivation. It's about liberation. You've been told your mind is who you are, but that's the biggest lie you were ever sold. Your mind is your servant, not your master. And yet for years you've let it rule you with fear, with doubt, with stories that never belonged to you. It's time to take back the throne. It's time to stop negotiating with thoughts that don't deserve your attention. The mind is loud, awareness is quiet, but the quiet one is stronger, always. The more you choose awareness, the more life starts to unfold in your favor. You begin to notice that reality bends to your state of mind. When you're calm, opportunities appear. When you're clear, choices align. When you're grounded, chaos loses its grip. This isn't luck, it's energy. You attract what you are ready for. You receive what you are aligned with. And alignment begins the moment you master your focus. That's why this isn't optional. This is survival for the soul. Because a mind left unchecked will destroy your peace before the world ever has the chance to. You've felt that destruction before. The sleepless nights, the racing thoughts, the endless search for answers that never come. You've tried distractions, you've tried running, but running from your mind only makes it chase harder. The only way out is through awareness. The only escape is presence. When you face the storm without fear, the storm starts to lose its form. It becomes wind, it becomes sound, it becomes nothing. And when that happens, you stop being the one fighting the storm. You become the one who commands the sky. You can't afford to live on autopilot anymore. The world is full of people sleepwalking through their own lives, reacting, complaining, comparing, never realizing they're prisoners of their own thoughts. But you are different. You're awake now. And once you wake up, you can't go back. You can't unsee the truth that you've been carrying power inside you all along. It's not out there. It's not hidden in books, success, or approval. It's in the pause between thoughts. It's in the awareness that watches everything without fear. That awareness is who you are. It's the part of you that doesn't age, doesn't break, doesn't give up. The mind will try to bury it again, to convince you this piece isn't real, that you'll fall back into old patterns. But that's just the echo of the old self trying to survive. Let it fade, let it burn out. You're not here to repeat, you're here to rise. Every time you choose awareness, you build strength. Every time you watch a thought without chasing it, you win. Every moment you stay grounded while the mind screams, you evolve. You might not see it immediately, but transformation is happening. Neurons are rewiring. Old emotions are dissolving. The architecture of your mind is shifting to match your new awareness. That's how mastery looks. It's invisible at first. But one day you'll wake up and realize that the noise is gone. The things that once triggered you no longer move you. The weight you've been carrying simply isn't there. You'll breathe differently, think differently, live differently, and that's when you'll know. You've crossed over from survival to mastery. You're no longer controlled by thoughts. You're guided by intention. You don't react to life, you respond to it with precision. You don't seek peace, you are peace. And in that state, everything you once chased begins to find you. Clarity, confidence, purpose, freedom. They were never missing. They were just waiting for you to wake up. So don't stop here. Don't let the noise pull you back. You've come too far to surrender to an old mind that no longer defines you. Keep watching, keep choosing, keep rising, because every moment you stay aware, you strengthen the foundation of the life you were meant to live. This isn't about mastering your thoughts. It's about mastering yourself. And once you do, there's nothing left to fear, because the world outside you can't touch the power you've built within. You've tasted control, and once you've had even a glimpse of that freedom, the old patterns start to feel unbearable. You can't go back to sleep once you've seen how much power you've been giving away. Every moment you choose awareness, you reclaim a piece of yourself. Every moment you choose stillness over chaos, you step closer to mastery. But mastery demands honesty. You can't pretend anymore. You can't hide behind excuses, distractions, or fear. Your mind will try to convince you it's not the right time, that you're not ready, that you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is a lie. There is no perfect moment. There is only this one. The truth is, most people never take back control of their minds because it requires facing what's inside them. The parts they've buried, the pain they've avoided, the patterns they've normalized. But you can't heal what you won't face. You can't master what you refuse to meet. The moment you stop running, everything changes. Because when you face the darkness, it loses its power. You realize the monster in the shadows was never real. It was made of thought, not truth. And the second you see that, the fear dissolves. Awareness burns it to ashes. This is the battle no one else can fight for you. It happens in silence, in the moments no one sees. It's in the space between a trigger and your response. It's in the breath before a reaction. It's in the pause where you choose not to be the old version of yourself. That's where transformation happens. In the invisible, in the internal, in the quiet strength of awareness. Every time you choose to observe instead of react, you rewire your brain. You train your mind to follow you instead of leading you. You build mental muscle. And soon, what once controlled you becomes powerless. But don't mistake mastery for comfort. It's not easy. It's not smooth. Growth burns. It destroys what's false before it reveals what's real. You'll feel it pulling you apart, stripping away old habits, exposing hidden fears. But that pain is sacred. It means you're waking up. It means you're breaking through the walls you built around yourself. Every moment of discomfort is a sign of rebirth. The old you is dying. Let it. That's how the stronger version of you emerges from the ashes of what you thought you were. The mind will fight to keep you small because small feels safe. It will whisper that peace is boring, that chaos is who you are. But that's not truth. It's addiction. You've been addicted to overthinking, to the rush of stress, to the illusion of control. But that addiction ends here. You are not meant to live half awake. You are not meant to spend your life reacting to the same triggers, trapped in loops that go nowhere. You are meant to lead your mind, not be led by it. You are meant to live with intention, precision, power. Imagine walking through your day completely centered. The world moves around you, but you stay grounded. Noise rises, but it can't reach you. Doubt appears, but you see it for what it is, a cloud passing through the sky of your awareness. You don't chase it, you don't fight it, you just let it move. That's mastery, that's freedom. That's the life waiting for you beyond the noise. Every second you hesitate, the old mind gains ground. Every time you forget to be aware, the pattern strengthens. So this is your call to rise, to be relentless, to reclaim the mind that has ruled you for too long. You owe it to yourself to be free, to finally experience peace that isn't fragile, to live a life where your emotions serve you instead of sabotage you. You don't have to wait for the right time. You don't have to wait for clarity or courage. You create them. You build them through awareness. You become unstoppable the moment you decide to stop being controlled by thought. Because when you stop identifying with your mind, fear loses its language, doubt loses its edge, the noise fades, and what's left is power, quiet, unshakable, undeniable power. So keep going. Don't slow down now. You've already stepped beyond what most people ever do. The battle is no longer between you and the world. It's between awareness and illusion, between presence and reaction, between who you were and who you are becoming. Choose awareness. Choose now. Because every breath, every thought, every moment is a chance to rise higher. The mind can be your cage or your key. And the choice right now is entirely yours. Every thought you've ever believed has shaped the person you see in the mirror. Every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, it's built the walls around you. But here's the truth most never face. Those walls were never real. They were made of stories your mind repeated until you mistook them for facts. And if your mind built them, your mind can destroy them. That's the power you've always had but never used. The power to rebuild yourself from the inside out. The power to become the architect of your own reality. You've been conditioned to think strength means control, to force outcomes, to crush emotions, to dominate every moment. But real strength isn't about domination. It's about direction. It's the ability to guide your mind instead of being dragged by it, to move through pain without becoming it, to hold clarity in the middle of chaos. That's what mastery feels like. Stillness that burns with power. Calm that commands respect. You don't scream. You don't chase. You simply know. And when you reach that level of awareness, the world around you begins to shift. You stop reacting to noise. You stop needing validation. You start seeing patterns for what they are. Tests designed to see if you'll fall back into the old version of yourself, but you don't. You stand taller, you respond slower, you choose better. Because once you've tasted awareness, mediocrity loses its flavor. You can't go back to sleep after you've seen how awake life can feel. The people around you will notice. Some will be drawn to your calm. Others will feel threatened by it. That's the cost of growth. When you rise, not everyone will rise with you. But you can't dim your awareness to keep others comfortable. You can't shrink to fit inside the limits you've outgrown. The world doesn't need another person pretending to be small. It needs someone brave enough to master their own mind and show others what's possible. That's you. Every time you fall back into old patterns, remember this. Awareness doesn't mean perfection. It means catching yourself faster. It means falling consciously instead of blindly. Every moment you notice, you grow. Every moment you pause before reacting, you break another chain. This isn't failure, it's refinement. Every thought, every test, every silence is training you for mastery. The mind can't defeat someone who keeps observing it, but the danger lies in forgetting. Because the mind loves distraction. It loves pulling you back into autopilot, where awareness fades and emotion takes over. That's how it survives. By convincing you to forget that you are more than it. That's why you must guard your awareness, like your life depends on it, because it does. The moment you lose it, you fall back into reaction. The moment you hold it, you become unstoppable. You are not here to live in survival mode. You are here to live with precision, to walk into each day knowing that nothing outside of you holds the power to define you. You are the observer, the creator, the force behind the thoughts. The world changes the second you remember that truth. When you stop letting emotions lead and start leading your emotions, your entire reality bends to your focus. Look around. How many people spend their lives trapped in their own minds, chasing happiness but running from themselves? They wait for peace as if it's something that must be earned. But peace isn't earned. It's remembered. It's what's left when the noise fades. It's what's always been there beneath the layers of thought. The more you watch, the more you see. The more you see, the more you understand that freedom isn't something you find, it's something you become. So decide right now. Decide to be done with hesitation. Done with the lies your mind tells to keep you safe. Safety isn't peace, it's a cage. Step out of it. Feel the discomfort. Embrace the uncertainty. That's where transformation happens. That's where mastery is born. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are infinite potential contained within awareness. And every time you choose to act from that space, the universe moves with you. The clock is ticking. The world will keep spinning whether you wake up or not. But you're here now, and that means something. It means you're ready. Ready to stop existing and start living. Ready to take control of the only thing that ever truly mattered, your mind. Because once you master your mind, there is nothing left to conquer. Everything begins to align. Everything starts to make sense. And for the first time, you won't just be alive, you'll be free. Freedom isn't given to you, it's claimed. It's carved out of the moments you refuse to be ruled by fear. Every time you pause instead of panic, every time you choose clarity over chaos, you take another step toward it. Most people never get this far. They stop when it hurts. They stop when it's uncomfortable. They stop when their mind screams that it's too much. But the truth is, that scream means you're close. The mind screams loudest when it's about to lose control. It fights to pull you back because it knows you're walking into power it can't manipulate. You've lived long enough being dragged by your emotions, reacting to every situation like a puppet on invisible strings. But that ends now. Because the moment you see the strings, you can cut them. You can stop being controlled by impulses, by memories, by other people's opinions. You can start living from a place of power so grounded that nothing external can shake it. That's not arrogance, that's awareness. It's the knowing that you no longer need to chase peace because you've become it. Every habit, every reaction, every limitation you've ever known lives inside your mind like code written long ago. And right now, you're rewriting that code. Every time you stay aware, you're teaching your brain that peace is the new normal. Calm is the new default. Focus is the new standard. And once your mind learns that language, it obeys. The storms still come, but you don't drown anymore. You move through them like water, fluid and unbreakable. That's the power most people search for in the world but never find, because it was never out there. It was always in here. You can feel it, can't you? That shift beneath your skin, the quiet certainty replacing doubt, the voice inside that used to question everything now whispering, "I've got this." That's your real self emerging, the one buried under years of noise, fear, and pretending, the one that doesn't need to prove, doesn't need to chase, doesn't need to beg for control. Because it knows, it always knew. You just forgot, and now you're remembering. But awareness is not something you keep once and forget about. It's something you earn every moment you breathe. The mind will always test you. It will try to drag you back into reaction. It will disguise itself as logic, as emotion, as the voice of reason. But you'll know the difference now. You'll feel the pull, and instead of being consumed, you'll observe. That's the difference between living as a slave to thought and living as the master of your mind. Observation is power. Detachment is freedom. Every great transformation begins when you finally get tired of your own limits. When you're done being a victim of your own thoughts. That's when everything starts. That's when you step into your real strength. Because mastery isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about having no thoughts. It's about not being ruled by them. You can stand in the middle of chaos and still be still. You can face the unknown and still be calm. You can lose everything and still know who you are. That's what makes you untouchable. The world is full of noise, full of chaos, full of people who've forgotten how to listen. To themselves, to silence, to truth. Don't become one of them. Be the one who remembers. Be the one who can walk through. Fire without burning. Who can face fear without breaking. Who can move with grace through storms that destroy others. That's not luck. That's training. That's awareness. That's mastery. You don't need to search for purpose anymore. It finds you when your mind becomes still enough to hear it. The more you align with awareness, the more the world aligns with you. Life begins to unfold in ways that feel effortless, not because it's easier, but because you're no longer fighting reality. You're moving with it. You've stopped resisting the flow, and in doing so, you've become it. This is your awakening. The moment you stop chasing and start embodying. The moment you stop waiting for peace and start living it. The moment you stop asking for strength and start realizing it's been inside you all along. Don't let this fade into another forgotten realization. Anchor it. Live it. Let it change everything. Because once you master your mind, you don't just survive, you ascend. You become a force that nothing can control. And that, right there, is true freedom. You've come too far to turn back now. The person you were is fading, and the person you're becoming is demanding space. This is the breaking point where most people retreat, where comfort whispers louder than truth. But you are not most people. You've seen what's possible when you stop letting fear lead. You've tasted the calm that comes when you master the storm. And once you've felt that, nothing less will ever satisfy you again. That's the cost of awakening. Once your eyes are open, you can't close them. You can't unsee your own power. The world will keep trying to pull you back into its noise. It will try to distract you, tempt you, convince you that awareness isn't enough. It will tell you to chase, to compete, to compare. But deep down, you know the truth. You know none of it matters if you lose yourself in the process. You've lived that life before, the one where your peace depended on everything going right. But peace, built on conditions, isn't peace at all. Real peace exists even when the world is falling apart. Real mastery is staying centered when everything around you spins. And this is where the real test begins. Not when it's easy, but when it's hard. When your patience runs thin, when emotions surge, when people trigger you, when plans collapse, when fear resurfaces. That's when your training shows. That's when you either fall back into the old mind or rise into awareness. The space between those two choices is where your future is written. Every moment you choose presence over panic, you reshape who you are. You teach your nervous system what peace feels like. You train your mind to obey you, not break you. Because mastery isn't a destination, it's a discipline. It's built in the smallest decisions, in the quiet moments when no one's watching, when you decide to breathe instead of react, when you choose patience instead of anger, when you stop waiting for motivation and start acting from clarity. That's the difference between those who talk about change and those who become it. Awareness without action fades, but awareness put into practice becomes transformation. The clock is ticking, and every second you spend in awareness expands your power. The mind that once ruled you begins to serve you. You stop seeking strength because you realize you are strength. You stop chasing happiness because you see that happiness was never lost. It was just buried under noise. You start to walk differently, speak differently, move differently, not because the world changed, but because you did. You've reclaimed the steering wheel, and now life responds to you. But don't get comfortable. Comfort is the mind's final trap. It whispers that you've done enough, that you can relax now. But awareness must be protected like fire. It burns bright only when fed. Feed it with focus. Feed it with truth. Feed it with the refusal to slip back into unconsciousness. Because the moment you stop paying attention, the old patterns will wait for you like ghosts. They'll test you again, but this time you'll smile. You'll recognize them, and recognition is power. What once controlled you will now dissolve the instant you see it for what it is. This is the threshold. Beyond it lies everything you've been searching for. Clarity, freedom, purpose. But it won't be handed to you. You must become the person who can hold it. That's what this journey is really about. Not achieving, but becoming. Not gaining more, but shedding everything that keeps you from your true nature. You don't have to add anything to yourself to be complete. You just have to remove what's false. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. You already have everything you need. The technique isn't complicated. It's consistent awareness. The discipline isn't difficult. It's daily choice. The path isn't out there. It's within you. And once you commit fully, life bends to that commitment. Every experience, every challenge, every moment becomes a mirror showing you who you truly are. You are not here to survive. You are here to lead, to set an example of what a mastered mind can create, to show what it looks like when awareness becomes strength. Don't let this message fade into inspiration that dies by tomorrow. Let it light a fire inside you that never goes out, because the world doesn't change when people wake up. It changes when they stay awake. And from this moment forward, you are done sleeping. You know the truth now. You've seen what awareness can do. Knowing isn't enough. You must live it. Every thought that tries to pull you back is just a test, a reflection of how far you've come. The mind doesn't surrender easily. It fights for control because it's afraid of silence. It thrives on chaos, on the constant noise that keeps you trapped in reaction. But you're not that person anymore. You've stepped beyond reaction and into choice. You've felt the stillness underneath the storm. Now it's time to protect it with everything you have, because this is where most people fall. They awaken for a moment, feel the power, and then drift back into distraction. They think the battle is over, but the mind is patient. It waits for the moment you drop your guard. It whispers small doubts, subtle fears, tiny excuses that feel harmless at first. But that's how it begins. One distracted thought, one missed breath, one moment of unconsciousness. Soon, you're back where you started, wondering why peace feels so far away again. But not you. You've seen too much to forget. You've tasted the strength that comes from stillness, the clarity that comes from focus. You know what it feels like to be present, to feel time slow down, to feel your power return, to realize you're no longer a prisoner of thought. That feeling isn't rare, it's your natural state. You were just trained to live outside of it. Society rewards speed, not depth, distraction, not discipline, but you don't have to play by those rules anymore. You set the pace now. You decide what gets your attention. You choose where your energy flows. The world outside may still spin, but inside, you are grounded. You move through chaos untouched. You listen without absorbing. You observe without reacting. You feel deeply but remain unshaken. That's not weakness, that's mastery. That's the mind serving you instead of enslaving you. And once you've felt that power, you can never go back. Because you've discovered what few ever find. The space between thought and action, between impulse and intention. That space is freedom. That space is you. So stay there, breathe there, build your life from that space. When anger rises, don't fight it, witness it. When fear appears, don't run, see through it. Every emotion that once controlled you is now a doorway back to presence. This is the secret no one tells you. You don't need to escape your emotions to be free. You need to face them with awareness. That's how transformation happens. You don't destroy the darkness, you illuminate it. You don't suppress the noise, you quiet the one who listens. And when you do, life changes in ways you can't explain. People notice the calm in your eyes, the steady tone in your voice, the confidence that doesn't need validation. You stop chasing things that drain you because your worth is no longer up for debate. You stop arguing with life because you realize resistance is just energy wasted on what already is. You begin to move differently, slower, sharper, more intentional. Every action becomes a statement, I am awake. But this awareness demands courage. It demands that you stop running from your mind and start mastering it. That you stop waiting for perfect moments and start creating them. The clock is ticking, and each day spent in unconscious thought is a day you'll never get back. So make today count, not with noise, not with chaos, but with focus, with presence, with discipline so sharp it cuts through every excuse your mind creates. You've come too far to forget who you are. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who sees them, shapes them, and rises above them. You've learned the technique, now live it, breathe it, become it, because once you master your mind, nothing outside of you can ever control you again. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not when things are easier. Now, the voice in your head may resist, but your awareness is stronger. This is the rebirth of your power. This is the mind's final surrender. And from this moment forward, every thought, every challenge, every breath is proof you have mastered your mind. Now that your mind is no longer your enemy, a new battle begins, the one between who you are and who you're meant to become. Every thought, every hesitation, every moment of doubt is an echo of the old self trying to pull you back. It whispers that you're not ready, that you'll fail again, that change is too hard. But you know better now. You've seen that those thoughts aren't truth. They're just habits of fear dressed as logic. And if you listen closely, you'll hear something stronger beneath them. A quiet voice, steady and certain, saying, keep going. That voice is your power. It's the part of you that never breaks, never quits, never stops believing that something greater is possible. This is where most people stop. They make small changes, feel a little progress, and settle there. But settling is the slowest form of surrender. You didn't come this far just to feel better for a while. You came here to evolve, to transcend, to tear down every wall that ever made you doubt your own strength. You came to build a mind so unshakable that no storm can touch it. That's the real reward of mastery. It's not peace that disappears when life gets hard. It's peace that deepens because life gets hard. It's not freedom from struggle, it's freedom within it. So stop underestimating what you can become. Every great transformation begins in silence, in those moments where you choose growth over comfort. Every time you reject an excuse, every time you face what scares you instead of running from it, you rewire your mind for strength. You are sculpting yourself one thought at a time. The pain you feel is the old self breaking apart. Let it break. Let it fall away. You can't carry who you were into the life you're meant to live. You are not fragile. You've survived too much to ever call yourself that again. You've walked through chaos and still found the will to rise. You've faced fear and still chosen to move forward. That's not weakness. That's evidence of power. You've already proven you have what it takes. Now it's about consistency, daily discipline, quiet, relentless focus. It's about showing up even when no one claps, even when progress feels invisible. That's where mastery is forged, not in moments of excitement, but in moments of repetition. The mind will resist, it always does. It will tell you to rest when you should rise, to quit when you're close, to doubt when faith is needed most. But you've learned the truth. The voice of resistance is not your protector, it's your prison guard. It only has power when you obey it. The moment you stop listening, it crumbles. The moment you act despite it, it loses its hold. Every step you take in defiance of fear strengthens the part of you that leads instead of follows. So act. Not later, not when it feels right. Now. Because the longer you wait, the louder fear becomes. The world doesn't pause for your hesitation. It keeps moving and you must move with it. Life rewards momentum, not perfection. Every second you spend doubting could have been a second of progress. Every delay costs more than failure ever will. Failure teaches. Hesitation destroys. You can fix mistakes, but you can't recover wasted time. This is the moment that defines you, the moment where your old identity fights to survive and your new self demands to be born. One must die for the other to live. That's the price of transformation. But it's worth it, because once you step into mastery, you'll see that nothing external was ever holding you back. It was only the mind whispering limits that never existed. And now those whispers are silent. You are not becoming someone new. You're returning to who you were before the world told you to doubt yourself. You're remembering your own strength, your own clarity, your own purpose. You are the calm within chaos, the still point in the storm, the creator of your own reality. Every breath you take from now on is a declaration, I am in control. You've mastered your mind. Now master your life, because awareness without action is potential wasted, and potential wasted is a life unlived. Don't just understand this truth. Embody it. Let it burn inside you. Let it push you beyond limits you once thought were permanent. You've done the inner work. Now the outer world waits for proof. Every move you make from this point forward is a reflection of the power you've unlocked. The world won't change until you do, but you already have. And that means everything changes now. You've broken the illusion. You've seen the truth that control was never about dominating the world around you, but about mastering the one within. But awareness alone isn't the finish line. It's the beginning. Now comes the part that separates the ones who talk about change from the ones who live it. The moment when your discipline becomes stronger than your excuses, when your purpose becomes louder than your doubt, when you stop negotiating with the voice that tells you to quit, because that voice will return. It always does. It's ancient. It's the echo of fear disguised as logic, whispering reasons why now isn't the right time. But you've already proven it wrong before, and you can do it again. Every moment you choose presence over distraction, you strengthen your mind. Every time you act when fear tells you not to, you rewrite your story. You are building something invisible but unbreakable, a foundation of self-command. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being powerful enough to continue. The world rewards those who persist when others pause. The mind wants comfort, but greatness demands conflict. The pressure you feel right now is not punishment. It's proof that something inside you is expanding. Growth always hurts before it frees you. That pain is the sound of your limits cracking open. You have to decide what kind of person you want to be, the one who listens to fear or the one who leads it. Because fear isn't your enemy. It's energy waiting for direction. Channel it, use it, let it sharpen your focus, not blur it. Let it drive you forward instead of holding you back. The difference between the ones who succeed and the ones who stop isn't talent, it's control. Control over emotion, control over thought, control over energy. When you master your mind, nothing outside of you can dictate your life again. And this mastery shows up in the smallest moments, when you wake up and choose to move, even when you don't feel like it. When you stay calm in conversations meant to trigger you. When you choose truth over comfort, growth over ego, purpose over distraction, that's when mastery becomes real. Not as an idea, but as a lifestyle. You start seeing opportunities where others see problems. You start feeling gratitude where others feel lack. You stop chasing peace and realize you are peace. But the danger lies in complacency. The moment you think you've arrived, you start to fall. Mastery is a living thing. It breathes through consistency. Every day you must renew your awareness. Every moment you must return to stillness. The mind will test you again and again, waiting to see if you're still awake. But now you know how to answer. You don't fight it, you observe it. You don't react. You choose. You don't collapse. You rise. Again and again, until strength is no longer an effort, but a reflex. The life you want is built in the unseen moments, the ones no one applauds, no one notices but you, when you choose focus instead of scrolling, when you sit in silence instead of chasing noise, when you trust your path even when the world doubts it. Those moments are your foundation, and every small act of mastery compounds into something unstoppable. You don't transform overnight. You evolve in the moments you refuse to break. And if doubt ever returns, remember this: you've already done something most people never will. You've taken control of your own mind. That single act places you in the minority who live with intention instead of impulse. You've seen what you're capable of, and you can't unsee it now. There's no going back to a smaller version of yourself. You can't unknow your power. You can't forget your clarity. You can only choose to honor it, so choose it right now. Every breath is a choice, to drift or to direct. Every thought is a tool or a trap. Every moment is a chance to build or to break. And if you ever feel lost, return to the truth that started it all. The mind is not your master. You are. That single realization is the seed of freedom, and once planted, it never dies. It grows with your focus, your discipline, your belief. This is not just about thinking differently. It's about living awake, moving with purpose, breathing with power. You've mastered your mind. Now, step into the life that mastery creates. The world moves for the one who is still inside. And now, that one is you. You've reached the point where the old you no longer fits. The version that doubted, that hesitated, that waited for permission, it can't exist in the space you're stepping into now. You've outgrown it. The walls you once leaned on have become too tight to contain you. And that's what growth feels like: pressure, discomfort, a quiet ache that whispers you're ready for more. It's not punishment. It's a signal. The universe only turns up the heat when it's time for transformation. The resistance you feel isn't there to stop you. It's there to refine you. Every moment you hold your focus, you rise above the noise. Every time you choose clarity over chaos, you prove to yourself that mastery isn't an act. It's a state of being. You've trained your mind to listen, not to lead. You've taught it that peace is power, not weakness. You've realized that the world doesn't change by chance. It changes when a single person decides to become unshakable. That person is you. You are no longer reacting to life, you are directing it. You've taken the driver's seat of your existence, and now the road bends to your will. But mastery doesn't end here. It demands expansion. The stronger your awareness becomes, the more it asks of you. You can't settle for balance, you must create alignment. Every action, every word, every thought must now serve your purpose. You no longer have the luxury of half effort or half truths. You've seen what happens when you give yourself fully to a moment. It transforms everything it touches. So imagine what would happen if you gave yourself fully to life. No more hesitation, no more waiting for the right time. The right time is the moment you decide it is. You're standing at the edge of something infinite, and fear will try to hold you back one last time. It will tell you that control is safety, that comfort is peace. But you've learned that comfort is the slow death of potential. Real peace isn't found in stillness, it's found in motion, in knowing you can face anything and remain calm inside the chaos. That's what mastery looks like. Not avoiding storms, but walking through them untouched. Every challenge is a mirror reflecting your strength back at you. Every obstacle is proof that your power is real. You've been preparing for this all along. Every doubt you faced, every setback that broke you open, it was all training. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. Life was sharpening you, testing you, shaping you into someone who could handle what's coming next. Because the truth is, the next level of your life requires a different version of you. A version that doesn't negotiate with fear, doesn't wait for confidence, doesn't ask for validation. You can't walk into the future carrying the weight of hesitation. Let it go. Leave behind everything that dulls your edge. The mind you've mastered is now your greatest weapon. It no longer pulls you backward, it propels you forward. You think with precision, act with intention, and move with purpose. The world may try to shake you, but your center is unmovable. You are not controlled by circumstance. You create it. Every thought you hold becomes a seed. Every word you speak becomes direction. You are no longer guessing what life could be. You are building it with every decision you make. So ask yourself now, what will you do with this power? Will you hide it behind fear, or will you use it to rise? Because the truth is, most people never get here. They never experience this kind of control. They never learn that freedom isn't found in what you have, but in what you think. But you know now. You've seen how awareness transforms everything it touches. You can't unknow it. You can't go back. You've crossed the threshold where your old patterns lose their grip, where hesitation becomes fuel, and fear becomes fire. This is your awakening. This is the moment you stop existing and start living. No more waiting for signs, no more doubting your worth, no more dimming your light because others aren't ready to see it. You've mastered your mind, now you master reality. The world bends to those who know who they are, and you do. You've earned the clarity, the calm, the strength that others spend their lives chasing. You are not chasing anymore. You are leading. You are creating. You are alive. And the moment you fully accept that truth, the world will never look the same again. You've awakened something powerful within you, something that refuses to be silenced again. That quiet certainty that you are capable of more, meant for more, built for more. But awareness without movement fades, and you didn't come this far just to feel inspired. You came here to transform. The world won't wait for you to be ready. Life doesn't pause for hesitation. Every second you spend doubting yourself is a second your potential goes unused. And that's the real danger. Not failure, but wasted power. You have it all inside you, waiting for direction. The question is, will you use it? You've learned to master your mind, but now it's time to use that mastery to shape your reality. The thoughts you entertain are not harmless, they are blueprints. Every belief you hold builds the structure of your life. You've been constructing unconsciously for years, building walls where there could have been windows, ceilings where there could have been sky. But now you see it clearly. You are the architect, not the victim. You decide which thoughts get built and which get destroyed. Every day, every decision, every moment is a chance to design a new world for yourself. The danger is slipping back into sleep. The pull of old patterns will tempt you to return to the familiar, the comfort of the known, even when it hurts. But you've outgrown that. You can't shrink back into what you've already surpassed. The cost of staying small is too high now. The gap between who you are and who you could be will only get louder until you move. You'll feel it as restlessness, as frustration, as that quiet ache in your chest that says there's more to you than this. That ache is your calling. Listen to it. Let it guide you. Everything you desire already exists on the other side of action. Not someday. Not when you're confident. Now, confidence doesn't come before action. It's born from it. You earn it through movement, through risk, through doing what your fear tells you not to. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds momentum. Momentum is magic. Once it starts, nothing can stop it. It bends reality, pulls opportunities toward you, reshapes everything in your path. But you have to start. You have to decide that this moment is enough. Because if not now, when? If not you, who? The mind you've trained will try to bargain with you. It will say you need more time, more knowledge, more preparation. But mastery isn't about knowing everything. It's about acting with what you have. You are ready. You've been ready. You just need to trust the version of you that's been fighting to emerge. That voice inside that whispers go when everything else screams, wait, that's your truth, that's your instinct, that's the part of you that already knows what to do. Stop silencing it with logic and fear. Start following it with faith, because life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards decision. Every choice is a declaration of who you are becoming, and every time you choose growth over comfort, the universe shifts in your favor. Doors open, paths reveal themselves. People appear at the right moment. It's not coincidence, it's alignment. You attract what you are, not what you want. So become the energy of everything you seek. Move like the person who already has it. Think like the person who already lives it. Speak like the person who already believes it.